T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello and welcome to Your Manchester with the fabulous Brandon and Caroline.
Oh, do you know? I knew we'd do that.
Of
Hi,
course.
everybody. It feels like I've not been here for like a year.
I know, we've never worked together.
No, we haven't, but we did have Prosecco together a
We
couple
did
of
have
weeks ago.
Prosecco together.
Which was
I think that's like a
nice.
bonding exercise.
It is the bonding, yes.
It is.
Yeah.
How have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been up to lots of things. I'm planning a big festival, which I'm going to share with people after. One of the things is a drag queen competition for summer solstice.
So Belinda's going to win, right?
No, she's not allowed to enter because she'll just knock everybody out the ballpark.
Oh, isn't she nice? I wouldn't have been as nice, but I'm glad somebody is. Well, we've come up to it. We've got a hell of a show. We've got so many guests, so many things happening, and we're even going to get to taste some lovely food. So excited for the food.
Oh, I am
I'm
as well.
so excited.
Come on, let's rush this along.
So, please welcome our first guest tonight. He's a lovely guy, and I actually know him, which is strange, interviewing someone you know. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. He's been in a fantastic show called Misfits and Doctor Who, and then he's going to be at the Hope Mill Theatre, which is why he's here tonight. Please welcome Nathan Mc Mullen. Hello.
Hi.
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 Hi. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good. No, long time no see.
This is all new to me. I haven't done anything like this before, so I'm like, does this work? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is that all right?
Lovely. It's you get the lighting right,
Yeah.
the speech.
Yeah. You do, but
So
I have
how
got
long
like
have
a
you
light
two
just so
known
you
each
can
other?
see me. Yeah. We've both done a production a couple of years ago, Bill, that Bill Elms put on, that he had on simultaneously, and we met. Both doing different productions from Bill Elms.
3 years ago. I don't count COVID as a year. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
Now, you're here to talk to us about a fantastic play called Hushabye Mountain. Can you tell our audience what exactly is it?
So it is a play by Jonathan Harvey, which he wrote in '99, I think, and it's been recommissioned to come back on, and the Hope Mill Theatre are putting it on. It follows the story of a young lad called Danny, who we discover at the beginning of the play, or not too far into it, that he's dead and that he's died of AIDS-related illness, and it kind of follows not only what was his life, but also the storylines that come with that as well, be it his relationship maybe with his parents or friends and family.
Yeah, so we knew obviously from our lovely little bio that you sent us about it all, that it's to do a bit about the AIDS epidemic. Was that difficult to come to terms with and when working and creating the character and things?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we are extremely fortunate to have Jonathan in the room with us, or we were last week, and he's in and out. And as somebody who lived through the period of when it was kind of first known to the world, he was able to give us kind of insight to how hard and difficult that was. But he also kind of drew similarities to how it's been over the past year as well, given the pandemic, and I guess the fear that was struck into all of us as a nation, but globally, was similar. Well, what I'm starting to discover was kind of similar to how it was then as well. It was something that was so unknown, that there was a lot of fear around it. So yeah, I guess kind of having Jonathan in the room, and also for myself drawing the similarities of the fear that a lot of us have kind of lived in over the past year.
Very different to stuff you've done before, because obviously we know you've done things such as Misfits, which is a huge thing, especially in the UK, and obviously Doctor Who, which you got to work with Nick Frost.
Yes, I want to know about Doctor Who.
Nick Frost. I was working with Nick Frost.
Genuinely, I think that was like one of the only times that I've ever been starstruck. To the point where I was just like, I'm working with Nick Frost. Like, I grew up watching Space and all the kind of Edgar Wright films that he was involved with. So, and it was during the time as well that there was kind of so much going on in my personal life that it was a lovely kind of breakaway just to be able to, I guess, be in awe, but also work on a show with, not only Nick Frost, but Peter Capaldi as well.
Yeah, obviously, because you got Peter Capaldi, Jenna Coleman, Dan Starkey. I'm not a massive Whovian in any way, shape, or form that I can name everyone in most of their cast.
I'm keeping quiet because obviously, you know, I'm a massive Whovian fan as well.
She's got a life-size TARDIS in her house.
I have got a TARDIS in my house.
Wow.
So you got to come round, Nathan.
That'd be amazing.
That is very impressive.
So more back to Hushabye Mountain then. Where is it and where can we find it?
It's on at the Hope Mill Theatre. Again, it's something different to what I've done before because it'll be a live streamed performance. We're only I think we'll be doing maybe 3 performances, a couple that will get filmed previously, and then that'll be available throughout June on a couple of dates. But I think the live stream performance is on the 5th of June, if I'm correct. I hope I am.
Yes, I've got the 5th of June, and it'll be available for streaming June 11th, 12th, 13th, all at 7:30.
Yeah.
That's if I'm right. I hope I'm right. And we've also got,
I think you are.
got
That sounds
matinee
about
show
right.
as well.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. It's obviously it's such an important story, and especially coming around June time, July, August, Pride is coming up, and I think a lot of people have that in-depth look. They want to know what's going on, especially looking at the past year we've had. People have watched It's a Sin and things like that. The AIDS epidemic is more important than ever almost. I think a lot of people have learned so much, especially from that show. Do you think this is going to help people learn more about it as well?
Absolutely. That show, like watching that show was something, and again, coming into rehearsals and being able to speak to other actors about it was something that opened my eyes, definitely, into how people dealt with the immediacy of it, and again, the panic and the fear, but also as a community and came together and were there to help each other. The whole campaign that was really listened to, and again, it's something that, like you were saying, with Pride coming up, is something that should always be spoken about, and you know, should be something that we are able to understand.
Can I ask you something, Nathan?
Yeah.
Do we get to hear the song, as in the Hushabye Mountain song?
Oh yeah.
From Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, because I love that song, and I'm just wondering if it's used anywhere at all.
It's a beautiful song, and you are lucky enough, to hear it live, sung beautifully as well. Not by myself, thankfully, otherwise I would have murdered it. But yeah, by a couple of actors within the cast, but yeah, mainly Jodie Premier. So yeah. Yeah,
because you've got quite a number of musical theatres actors in it, such as Jodie and Leighton and things, who've obviously been in like Everybody Trying to Be Jamie. Was that a big change for you coming into such a different style of performer almost? Because obviously you're used to doing either straight acting on TV or like when I last seen you was By the Waters of Liverpool, which is a very different show to this.
Absolutely. I think the only kind of similarity or musical kind of experience I had was part of the Liverpool Rep Company when we've done Paint Your Wagon. But I had, again, the privilege of working with Matt Henry just before lockdown. In fact, we were doing another Jonathan Harvey play, Our Lady of Bundle Sounds, which is coming back in autumn time. But yeah, working with Matt Henry, who again is an incredible singer and vocalist. So yeah, whenever we do kind of musicals, I'm just in awe just listening to them.
It just gives you all the feeling. I mean, no, it's fantastic, especially because obviously you're a Liverpool actor as well. It must be incredible to perform and bring that element, because obviously it's that regional accent that people come for. Like, do you find that exciting whenever people are like, I really want to hear a proper Scouse accent here? Well,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a
Yeah.
lot of people that go for that. People do.
Yeah, it's like your accent.
Yeah.
Well, that's
think,
why people
um,
watch this show.
I think, like for me, growing up as well, it wasn't something that was always kind of familiar. You know, it wasn't something that I was hearing a lot of. So yeah, any kind of theatre or TV, you know, anything where you hear, like you say, a regional accent, a Scouse accent. I mean, I was actually born in Manchester, so even like hearing a Mancunian accent was something where I was like, oh, that's something that's similar to me that I can relate to. So it's always nice to have that relatable voice.
Well, our Greater Manchester Mayor's a Scouser, but, you know, he's been adopted by Greater Manchester, so, you know.
So I'm on the opposite end of the.
You've been adopted by Liverpool. It's fine. I mean, we'll bring you back one day. We will.
Yeah.
This is it. With Hope Mill, we're slowly bringing you back into the fold, and then we'll keep working on it. No, well,
Yeah,
thank
I'll
you very
get
much
it.
for joining us, Nathan. It's been lovely to talk to you. It's lovely to hear about it.
Yeah.
Like we say, check out Hushabye Mountain. You can check it out on Hope Mill Theatre, and you can see it live, or you can watch a stream performance. Thank you very much, dude.
Nice to meet you,
Thank you.
Nathan.
Thanking you. Now, next up, we've got some food. Oh, I love food.
This video is about tiramisu, one of the best known Italian desserts anywhere in the world. Now, talking about food in Italy can be dangerous, as there's always a region somewhere that makes the best whatever it is, or thought of it first, and tiramisu is no exception. And yet, although it is everywhere, it is in fact not a traditional Italian dessert at all, and is of relatively recent origin. In fact, as recently as 1993, a joke in Tom Hanks's film, Sleepless in Seattle, was based on people not knowing what tiramisu is, and thinking it was to do with sex, which I suppose, in a way, it is. I have found a New York Times article from 1985 about the amazing new Italian dessert. It quotes the owner of a New York restaurant who says his tiramisu is real, and the dish comes from Tuscany, which, guess what, is where he came from. And he's not alone. There are claims that tiramisu goes back to Renaissance Tuscany, but with a different name and somewhat different ingredients, more like a zabaglione or zuppa inglese or trifle. However, I'm sceptical, as mascarpone, and more about this shortly, is a key ingredient for tiramisu, and that probably originated in Lombardy in northern Italy. Other claims go back to 19th century Piedmont, where it was created for politician Camillo Cavour after a setback on the path to Italian unification. The justification for this appears solely to be the name tiramisu, which means pick-me-up in Italian. Some even say it originated in the once legal brothels or case chiuse in Italy to help with, let's say, performance. However, the evidence for all this is sadly very weak, if not non-existent. Based on the actual evidence, it appears the origins of tiramisu are in the northeast of Italy, either the Veneto or Friuli Venezia Giulia. Italian gastronome Giuseppe Mafflioli wrote in 1981 that it was created in 1962 in the Beccaria restaurant in Treviso. But according to Clara and Luigi Padovani, that can't be right, as it first appeared on a menu in the 1950s at the Albergo Roma in Tolmezzo in Friuli. The truth is that reliable evidence of restaurant menus is hard to come by, with tiramisu's first appearance in an Italian dictionary in 1980, which all suggests a fairly recent rise to national prominence. So, in the absence of clear evidence, I decided to do my own first-hand research. I asked my mother whether she remembers tiramisu when growing up in Umbria in the 1950s and early 60s. Her recollection was that it was around during her childhood, which is broadly consistent with the Friuli claim, but maybe bad news for Treviso. She also remembers the alcohol being a crucial ingredient. This is what I think is the story of tiramisu. I suspect it's been around for a long time in Italy, earlier than the evidence we have suggests. History has not been good at preserving the ordinary things of everyday life, such as menus and recipes, so I reckon it predates the Second World War. And unlike other Italian recipes, this one was hard for Italian migrants to take with them to other countries, as mascarpone, which is essential, is an unusual sort of cheese, being made from cream with lemon juice but without rennet. And local variants, such as cottage cheese, would not have worked as well. And this means it was a spread of mascarpone with better refrigerated transport that was crucial to the rise of tiramisu, making it more widely available in the post-war economic boom in Italy and later in other countries. I'm sure Italian mascarpone is still the best, but locally produced mascarpone is now widely available, including from Wisconsin, the centre of American cheese making. I hope you found this video interesting. I do acknowledge the evidence is not clear-cut on this one, so if you passionately believe that it was your bisnonno who created the recipe, you may well be right. I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon.
that's fascinating. Do you know, I do love a bit of history, and I do like dessert. So actually putting them together, history of dessert, is awesome. Okay, I have got our next guest here. Now, how do I say your name?
So it's Mattia.
Mattia
Yes,
Paradiso.
That's correct. That's
Mattia
perfect.
Paradiso. Now, that's his name, but it sounds like it's a fashion label, really.
I'm wearing
It's like,
Mattia Paradiso
I'm wearing the
today.
latest Mattia Paradiso. Okay,
That's
so...
your next venture, like
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
said,
I
like
think
start
I'll go-
trademarking that.
I'll
Yeah,
This is myself,
exactly,
everything, yeah.
exactly. But you're not here because I'm going on about you being a fashion label. You are, it says you're a former actor, but I think if acting roles came to you, you'd do that anyway, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. At the moment, I'm just trying to build this little, I call it my little baby, a little project.
Well, do you know what?
Uh,
It's amazing how many businesses started in the pandemic.
Absolutely.
And this started in the pandemic. Tell us a little bit about
So
what venture?
basically, yeah, it was like March last year, and obviously all the jobs got cancelled. It was supposed for a lot of people, and I remember just turning to my flat and say, "I'm just gonna start making tiramisu for the neighbours and see what happens."
Yeah, that's nice.
And then that I posted a picture of the tiramisu, like a small portion of tiramisu, in the Facebook group, and then from there it just started this like. It's like a virus spreaded, but with a good virus of tiramisu
Yeah, a good
in
one,
the,
yeah.
in the
Yeah, yeah,
neighborhood.
Virus, I like that.
Exactly, in Castlefield. And then, yeah, doing it from home, basically, starting from home, and then, like, from the first income, so to get the boxes, and then get the stickers, get the logo done, and it didn't take much for... It was supposed to call Cheer Me Up. I was supposed to call it Cheer Me Up, because that's what the translation of tiramisu.
Right.
Tiramisu.
I didn't know that.
Cheer me up.
Cheer me
I
up.
heard that
It's like having a coffee. Cheers me up.
it's the key dessert at weddings, Sicilian weddings.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So and on that point, I gotta say something about, because a lot of people think that the tiramisu does alcohol always, but it depends where you're from. In Italy, we don't put alcohol. Like my nonna never put alcohol in the tiramisu.
Your nonna,
Never.
your nonna
Never.
never
No,
put
never.
alcohol.
Never put alcohol. Just a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she started to do it when we were kids.
Yeah.
So I suppose from then it just. But then if you go to Sicily, you get marsala, so you put some alcohol over there. So I thought, would it be inclusive? So let's not put alcohol in any of them. But I gotta be honest, I really want to do a limoncello raspberry one.
Oh.
Is that not what you've got today? I got excited.
We've got some things here today. So we have, excuse me, just push me if I say it wrong.
Best Italian accent, go on.
Classico
Perfetto.
Next, I got.
pistachio.
It's pistachio, but it's okay.
I know.
This one's a bit of an English word.
Yeah. Biscotti.
Biscotti.
Biscotti. I really need to make it sound Italian. Biscotti.
You know the first person who says that. I know the markets, I can have biscotti. And I don't understand why it's mixed up with biscotti and biscoff. So to get this beautiful biscoff.
Biscotti.
Might start a new
Biscotti.
brand with that.
Do you know what? I mean, it's Biscoff and coffee, so like, I actually think you could work that one.
Well, which camera are we so I can actually hold up the product?
It's fancy.
Look at that.
Biscoffy.
Presentation is everything, people.
It is stunning. You've got
Gorgeous.
a gorgeous little logo on it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It is. It's really, really nice. So you were in Castlefield.
Yes.
Yeah. And now you've done the crowdfunding. Awesome and
yeah.
well done.
Thank
Well
you.
And now you're in Ancoats at Pollard Yard.
Exactly, yes. So after the crowdfunding, I managed to get the shipping container in Ancoats. There's a beautiful workplace called Pollard Yard.
Can I open these?
Of course you can.
Carry on talking.
You can absolutely start to take it in if you want.
Deal with it for your hand, and I won't judge
The
you.
presentation is absolute.
This is my
Smell going.
nice. Okay.
Smile.
So what was I saying?
Leave.
So yeah, we got this beautiful place in Ancoats, which is basically my prep kitchen, and then from there people come and pick up their orders as well.
Look at that. Look at that.
I'm gonna have to get out of this.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And yeah, and basically we're planning to do some nice festivals this summer. got a little chat the other day with Upmeal Theatre, which is basically down the road from us.
Right, yeah.
So we'll probably have like a nice collaboration with them. Oh, it's going down, it's going down.
That'd be really good.
It's starting again.
Mateo, where can we find it? So I see an Instagram logo and a Facebook logo. Where can we find these?
So there's on Instagram is at Paradiso Authentic, and there's also on Facebook Paradiso Authentic Italian. I don't use Twitter. Don't judge me.
That's fair.
Don't use Twitter.
I won't judge
But feel
you.
free to use it for me.
Do you know what? I will put it out on Twitter.
Yes, for me,
I will put it
please.
out on Twitter, and if I can get a photograph with it, right, they're my new best friends.
So, can people then order this from you online and get it delivered to their house?
Yeah, so there's also a website called paradisauthenticaitalian.com. They can order it from there or DM us, whatever is best for them.
I'm doing a breast cancer event in September with a fantastic woman, and we'll have a chat.
Absolutely.
We'll have a chat because this is
Absolutely.
awesome. This is awesome. Anything else on the horizon, Mateo?
So in the acting side, I've done a short movie. It will come out in September as well.
Very nice.
I'm an Italian. I'm also dad in it. Dad of 3 kids.
Dad of 3 kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this different to your usual life? I assume?
Yeah.
I'm usually a baddie.
Your 3 kids are here.
Yeah, there.
Shock to the system.
Exactly. But it was so nice to be on set, to be back on set, and with the crew. It's just like a great feeling, being on stage and being on set. I feel at home, you know.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I know
So
that
it's
far
like
too well.
being here. Exactly.
Okay.
I feel at home as well.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We've got Hayley on the box, but we'd like to see you on the box as well as doing your tiramisu. Who's your
Absolutely.
agent for
Who's
acting?
my agent for acting? At the moment, I don't have one. But my acting
If the film
coach,
coming out, we'll see what happens. I'm just saying.
my acting coach is Anthony Crank. So
Okay. Well,
It's kinda
thank
good
you
stuff.
so much for coming in and
Yes.
bringing your
Thank you,
children,
guys. Thank you
and
so
we'll
much.
look after them for
We
you.
will look after them very well.
Please do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Now, next up, we've got ourselves on the box.
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to this week's On The Box. How's everyone doing? Now, the first thing I would love to recommend is Davina McCall's documentary, Sex, Myths and Menopause. It's available to catch up on all 4. Now, whether you're going through the menopause, you've been through it, or you're like me and you haven't gone through it yet, it's really, really worth a watch. And it's great to see a documentary on this subject as well, because I bet lots of you out there, like me, they know people who haven't been given the right treatment or they've been fobbed off. So it's really, really good that this show is highlighting this issue. Now, next I rewatched the wonderful film called Wonder, and it stars Julia Roberts. It's about a boy called August who has facial differences, and he enters mainstream school for the very first time. That's currently available again on Netflix. Next, there is a series called Heartstrings. It's also on Netflix, and each episode brings to life a different Dolly Parton song. So a little bit different there. Now, finally, there is a lovely, lovely cosy film on Netflix. It's called Racing Stripes. It's a few years old, but I'd never seen it before, and it's absolutely brilliant. If you think of the film Babe and replace the pig with a zebra, you've more or less got it. And the zebra, he's called Stripes, of course, and he grows up thinking that he is a racing horse, and he really wants to race and win the Kentucky Derby. I'm not going to tell you anything else, just watch it. It's perfect for a Sunday afternoon film. Now, that's it from me. I will catch you next time. Take care, and remember, stronger together. Bye.
Well, there's loads of things to watch now.
Oh, there is. I'm
fantastic.
just going to put my onesie on and watch everything.
Oh, speaking of things to watch, we've got the fabulous Belinda Scandal up next, and she's going to be talking about remembering Liz Dawn.
He'll not come, you know, and it's not to do with being clever. Tim, he's just got animal instincts, he has.
Yeah, Maxine, can you do it for my husband?
Like what?
I can think of a few things.
Hey, watch it, Jack.
Aye, royalty, Vera. Don't tell me I know.
I've cried buckets over our Terry, and he won't worth a drop.
What, the barbers?
No, it's a comic. They want cartoon characters.
Very funny, Vera. This is your Christmas present. His name's Boomer, and he is your very own lovable little pet.
Oh, for me,
Oh, he's a thoroughbred, you know, cost a mint of money.
Never mind a towel. Sorry. What have you done to me?
Hey, look, it was something to know.
I don't call coming back at 4 o'clock in the morning with some greasy-haired gigolo something and out.
Lester were giving me lambada lessons.
We're certainly giving us something. Hi, Carol.
Well, hello, Vince. Terrific to meet you.
We're engaged.
Ah, that's great. Oh, congratulations.
Don't swear, they don't drink. Still, there must be something we can talk about. They're like animals.
Animals? Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that's all right. Then we get our Jack to talk about them three-legged donkeys that he's backed and... You stay there, love, because you've got more staying power than them. I love you. Hey, I better hurry up. I'm going to miss first house of bingo.
So an absolute legend there. How are you doing, Mark? You all right?
Very well, thank you. And you?
I'm really excited to talk about Liz Dawn. Of course, not her real name, is it?
No, she was born Sylvia Butterfield.
Oh, that's a nice name, isn't it?
Well, I prefer it, don't you?
Well, it's nice, yes.
Yeah.
It's got the word butter in.
That's right.
Yes.
And she changed it because she had 4 children. Her first daughter was called Dawn Elizabeth. So she took that, worked it back to front, and that's her professional name.
Sneaky. Now, she started off, she wasn't always the famous icon that we know her for. Indeed, she started off kind of backgrounding, didn't she?
And she did. She did club singing to start with, and then she started to do background. She ended up Barry Hines' film Kes. She was in that.
Was she in Kes?
Yes.
Great film.
And Colin Welland cast her in Leeds United, where she worked with Lynn Perry, of course, who played Ivy.
Yes, Ivy.
And then she did Wheel Tappers and Shunters and waited on in that.
Yeah.
And eventually she started to do extra work on the street.
So did she always want to be an actress, or did she want to be a singer? Was there a preference?
She didn't. I don't think she wanted to be anything really. She actually worked, you know, a normal job. She was a Pippa D rep. Do you remember Pippa D parties?
No. Explain.
Well, this was when ladies came together and had parties to buy clothing and things, and then
like
she.
a Tupperware party.
Yes.
But for clothes.
Exactly.
Lovely.
And then she started selling wigs and having wig parties.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And so she kind of went into the singing because she would enter the odd competition, but it was her second husband, Don, who put her up for this competition, and he was the one who put the name Liz Dawn down.
So how did she get into Corrie then? Because, I mean, that's a big leap, isn't it?
So she started to work on Crown Court, which was a Granada production, and she did extra work as a prison warder, and she used to be stood in the back of the dock week after week, and that sort of got her in and got her notice, and a lot of people worked on Crown Court that worked on the street. And then eventually she was cast as a witness. As a sort of landlady witness in one of the court cases, but of course that meant she could no longer be an extra in the show, so that came to a close. And then she did a couple of commercials, and a very famous one, which was Formica commercial.
I think I remember that.
With there was a sort of lie detector thing in it. And Larry Grayson saw it, and he wanted her to star with him in his new TV series.
Right.
She got that offer, but on the same day, they offered her to go into Coronation Street as Vera as a regular, and she had to decide. And Larry said to her, do the street. And that's how she ended up in it.
And very generous of Larry Grayson to suggest that to her.
Absolutely.
So, how would you describe the character that she brought of Vera? Was that very much like her, or was it kind of totally different to her character?
No, it was like her. I mean, she was that family person, very down to earth. I mean, she's going from an extra to playing a regular part. She did actually struggle with learning the lines, and she was very open about this.
Really?
That she used to have bits of paper, and yeah, occasionally you do, if you watch the classics on ITV3 in the afternoons, you'll actually see she has a bit of script in her hand quite often. And Nigel Pavaro, who played her son Terry, used to say, when they did kitchen scenes, she would have all the lines glued into saucepan lids and things, you see. So she would stir one and be reading off that pot and then move to another, and that's how she did it.
That corridor, weren't they?
Well,
lines placed everywhere.
Yeah, and a lot of the actors came from the variety background, and you know, it is a struggle to keep learning lines.
And it's a lot of lines, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely, and they always say the technique is forgetting the lines, ready to learn the next set of lines.
And was the programme live while she was involved in it?
No, it was recorded, but you know, they didn't stand much messing about. You had to get on with it. So yeah, absolutely. But she was lovely. So I've brought you some pictures actually.
Let's have a look.
Yes, there you are. So there's Liz with Prince Charles.
Right.
That was the 40th episode, which was live. They put her in a bed. She was Vera was donating a kidney to her grandson Paul. In that story. And when Prince Charles came on the set, she said to him, "Have you brought any grapes?" And he didn't know what to do. He asked an equerry if they could send out for grapes. He didn't realise she was joking. She did get the grapes. And there's Bill. Now, she played Vera for about almost 5 years before they introduced Bill Tarmy as a husband.
So what was her character then whilst this was all going on?
She was playing Vera Duckworth, but we never met her husband. And then it was only at Gail and Brian's wedding where we needed to see her husband Jack. So they brought Bill in, and so the first thing they did was filming at the church for the wedding scene. She was wearing a crimpoline dress. They were introduced, she went to have some lunch, and he came in, threw himself on her and kept smacking her bum. And the reason was he had spotted the fact she got too near the fire and the crimpoline was starting to go up, so he put her out.
She was flammable.
Yes.
I mean, that was just one of the iconic relationships in soap history, isn't it?
Well, they both come from that background. They've both done extra work. They'd both done club singing. They both had struggle with the lines, and they just got on. And you can always tell on screen.
Yeah.
It was a genuine relationship.
So there was never any issues with them behind the scenes where they didn't get on?
No. They always got on, and they did lots of club singing together and things like that. You know, it definitely worked on screen.
So we've got all loads of stuff here.
Yes.
I didn't realise she actually had her own.
Yes, she did an autobiography quite early, actually, in her street career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite fabulous.
You got that, and then you've got a couple of things here. That's just a picture of them together that you've got. Then Cunard launched a ship, the Coronia, from Liverpool, and we sailed from Liverpool round to Southampton. It was all celebrity guests and things like that, but we hit this terrible storm, and in order to get the ship into the Mersey to sail at midnight, they couldn't have any ballast on the ship, so she was like a cork. It was absolutely awful, the worst. In fact, Terry Waite was a guest, and he did the speech of thanks afterwards, said it was worse than being held hostage in Beirut. And but one person was on there who made every meal, and that was Carol Thatcher, Margaret Thatcher's daughter. Right. And we'd all spotted this, and a few years later Carol went into the jungle, of course, to do I'm a Celebrity, and Liz rang me and said, you know, she's on there, she'll do all right. And of course everyone expected her to be voted out early because of who her mother was.
Yeah.
So we put a big bet on Carol Thatcher to win based on our experience, and she actually paid for my conservatory.
Oh, very nice.
Absolutely.
Very nice indeed. How does she cope with fame? Was she okay with that?
She loved it. She enjoyed meeting the public. She was very down to earth.
Yeah.
She enjoyed chatting with them, and she loved. I mean, people called her Sylvia, some people called her Liz, and people called her Vera, and she was quite happy to answer to all of them.
And she was absolutely fine with it all, no issues or nothing.
No, absolutely no. She was great fun.
And of course, she went on to do a few TV programmes as well. The most famous, the one that I can think of, where we heard her sing, was of course Stars in Their Eyes.
Absolutely, yes.
And I think we've got a little clip of that as well.
Yeah.
I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I've always fancied him. Scheme of one, you're sure to find.
I do like the more mature woman.
Those things you've always pined for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell, baby. I'm so excited. Oh, it's thrilling, this, isn't it?
So she, of course, was celebrating many a birthday, and she had quite a synonymous and very, very famous 60th, didn't she?
She did, and I was lucky enough to be a guest at that, which was at the Victoria and Albert Hotel.
Oh.
There's the invitation. You see, I can tell you what we had to eat. And there were guests there, aplenty. We had chicken and lemon-scented mash and
proper
all
food.
kinds of, it was a right northern do. And she actually had birthday greetings from Prince Charles, from the Pope, sent her a birthday message, the Queen, Tony Blair was Prime Minister at the time. It was a very good do, and it was the only time I've ever made it into Hello magazine.
Oh, you're in there, are you?
Oh, I am.
Oh.
I am. A side view. But yes, you've got all the pictures.
Let's have
There are we.
What camera should we put this to? Let's have a goosey gander. Let's do it to
There
that
you
one.
go. So you got all the pictures. Lots of the casts were there, of course. And I ended up sitting next to Jean Alexander, who played Hilda Ogden, of course. Yes.
Now, how was she? I mean, we're going to talk about her in a few weeks' time.
We are
aren't
indeed, yes we are. No, she was lovely, so it was nice to actually have the time to discuss her life and career. She was nothing like Hilda Ogden, of course, and she had quite an interesting experience in rep theatre and things like that, but like I say, we'll talk about that next month.
We'll talk about it later. So, of course, who went first? It was Vera and then Jack, wasn't it? Or was it Jack and Vera?
Yes, Vera went first.
What was her reasons for leaving?
She had breathing problems, she had emphysema, so
Right.
she decided that she didn't want to continue. So she left, but she then came back for Jack's leaving storyline, and Vera appeared
with a bit of Matt Monro.
She did,
Absolutely.
that's right, which was lovely. And then, of course, Liz herself passed away in 2017.
And it was, I remember the funeral itself was like a major event within Salford, Manchester.
Oh, it was a huge funeral.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, she'd done so much, and she'd done things that perhaps people didn't know. You know, she was Lady Mayoress of Leeds, for example, and she did huge amounts of charity work. And like I say, with the Pope sending the message, she'd done a lot of work for the Catholic Church and things like that. And she was very big into a lot of charities. Yes, she was.
That's wonderful, isn't it? So, if we were to remember Vera for any storylines in particular, what would we say?
Well, for me, it's not necessarily a storyline. It's just that presence and the factory scenes with Mike Baldwin and Ida Clough and
Because Vera
and the
stood for
girls.
no hassle, did she?
Oh no, absolutely. She always had something to say, didn't she?
Well, she even had something to say about the front of a house. I mean, that became...
Yes.
I don't think a frontage of a house other than Buckingham Palace has ever been so famous.
No, absolutely. And indeed, next week on the show, we've got an exclusive interview with Jenny McAlpine, and in that, you know, Jenny, of course, Jenny kind of treats herself as custodian of the cladding.
Yeah.
Because, of course, her character Fizz lives in the same house now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we remember the cladding, of course, and that's still there, and Jack Duckworth's brother, Cliff, painting some of the bricks blue.
Yeah.
And you can't think of the street really without the cladding.
Yellow and blue cladding and the pigeons in the backyard.
And the bar.
And the bar.
Remember the bar?
That bar.
With the sombrero
Crikey.
and the stuffed donkey and all the rest.
My goodness me. There was
They
so
were
much
classy
to her
people.
character, wasn't there?
Well, they were, and it was, for me, it was the street at its height, that
Absolutely.
classic thing, their relationship. You knew it was going to kick off. You
Yeah.
had all the stuff with her, you know, going on dates and him as Vincent Clare, the club act and everything. You know, it was heightened reality, but it worked in the street, and the street was always at its best when it did comedy against the drama.
Absolutely. Now, in the next few weeks, we're going to be looking into more corrie legends, as we mentioned. Who have we got next?
So we're doing, like I say, we've got Jenny McAlpine on next week, and
Fizz.
then on the 9th of June, we're going to be chatting about, as I say, Jean Alexander and looking back at Stan and Hilda.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. Stories of strong women.
Oh, and that's what the street was about.
That's what the street's about, and that's what your Manchester's about, as we hand back now to our Carol.
Oh, strong women. May we know them, may we love them, may we raise them. So we're going to go to the weather, to the fantastic
The
Paul
strongest
Rudd.
woman of them all.
Hello, good evening. Hello, my lovely weather watchers, and welcome to this week's weather forecast with me, Paul Rudd. And I'm here in the hot tub. And we can't predict the weather all the time. We get all 4 seasons in one day, but let that not spoil our fun. Get out and have some fun. Let's take a look at this week's weather. Here it comes. Thursday is looking like rain with the temperatures of 13. Friday also rain with the temperatures of 12. And as we party on through to the weekend right now, Saturday is looking like rain with the temperature of 13, and Friday is looking like rain with the temperature of 13 as well. So get out there and have some fun like I'm doing in the hot tub. But your Manchester team forgot to get the memo. Where are you guys? That's it from me this week. Do join me again next week. And now it's time to hand over back to the studio for this week's episode of Your Manchester. Cheers, everyone.
Do you love it? Did you love it?
I cannot unsee.
There are things we cannot see, but I tell you what, I looked at every piece of weather going on thanks to that. So it was a fantastic one. Thank you very much, Paul. Next on, we have a lovely man called Franco Dowd. Hello.
Hello, it's Frank Dowd.
Frank Dowd. I'm so sorry.
All right.
He puts so in front of everything.
It's the Irishness I make everyone Irish.
It's allowed.
More inclusive part of the family. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Have you been all right?
Yeah, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Good. Been an all right week?
It's been a very, very busy week.
Yes.
A week of connections and...
Because you're here obviously to talk about Baubles for Beds. What exactly is it?
Baubles for Beds is a fundraiser that I launched in 2019 to encourage the community of Manchester to help make Christmas tree decorations and then sell them via donations with the help of local businesses to raise money for Manchester's homeless.
Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. And it's amazing because obviously Manchester, it does have a massive homeless thing going on with it. And it's incredible that you're doing so much for the homeless here.
As in every major city, it brings its big problems, and homeless one is unfortunately a situation embedded in most cities.
You okay, Carol?
Yeah. No, I've got a secret little bag down here.
Right.
I think some of the stuff.
Yes, here's some of the baubles.
Some baubles.
Yeah.
Oh, one minute here. Get out the baubles.
I think the baubles, are they in here?
Yes, they are.
They are. Can I get them out?
Yeah,
You carry on talking while I lay them out.
It's important that, to know that Baubles for Beds has the support and the help of over 17 schools across Manchester.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is one of mine actually. This is me.
I really hope you're
This is me sneaking my work in.
This is fantastic.
We show it to the camera. We can see.
I actually do work in paper mache, and that's my art medium, and hence the idea of Baubles for Beds came to help to encourage people just to connect through art, because it's not all about money. Unfortunately, not all of us have money. I mean, there's times we have nothing, and what we can give is a bit of art or a bit of something, a bit of time or a bit of anything to share. And these are some of the fantastic creations that children from across Manchester, I believe this one come from Ruskin Primary School all the way in Gorton.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and we've got schools as far as Swinton, helping with St Charles and Swinton.
That's amazing.
Most of South Manchester, alongside Community Primary School. I can't mention them all, there's loads of them.
It's just so many.
Crinklebrook Primary School, we've got Parswood Secondary School helping us. We've got schools all over the place.
Schools all over the place.
This one's fabulous. I can't believe we're talking about...
That teacher might have made that. What do you reckon?
Did you make that?
Elf on a Shelf is a bauble.
Yeah.
Well, it's May and we're talking about Christmas baubles.
It's all about the art, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is how it all started. Last year we made close connections with Coffee for Craig, and hence I've asked that Coffee for Craig to come with us, because they took us under the wing to be their art part, and through that we're now working more to create more artistic events. We've got Bricks for Beds, where the schools are making paper mache bricks to help create a paper mache house. And then we want it to be destroyed by the natural elements of Manchester, to show how close we all are to the instability of losing homes, and how it's important that we work together in the community, not just get through art, but also get all the charities or the local organisations to get together and be like a central point.
Absolutely, I love it. It sounds like you're definitely opening the eyes of some kids at an age that wouldn't really realise what's going on in the world, which I think is great.
Well, I tend to say maybe they may not have a full understanding what's going on in the world, but I think they certainly understand what's going on.
What's going on?
Oh yeah, no,
and
they
I
do.
think it's very important that we we exalt our youth.
Yeah,
we should exalt
absolutely.
them because these are our future, and if we don't include our youth, how do we expect to include
further? Yeah,
Are
absolutely.
you going into schools?
Not at the moment yet, but if I get invited to the schools, I will definitely be there to help and
Because
support.
I'm sure there's funding out there for you to go into schools and do workshops, but also as well help with what you want to do.
Like this one again.
I'd love to. I mean, funding is something that's great because I mean, during my normal day life, I work full-time security, and then the rest of my time is taken by this, which is much more enjoyable.
Yes.
We do have other organisations and groups that have come together to us and offer to give us support. I talked with a wonderful organisation, Homeless House, that has offered to help us. Well, they can help us and we in turn will help them because we all work in the same city. And when I say city, it's the whole area. It's Greater Manchester.
Yeah.
We're talking about all the way to Oldham and Stockport and Trafford and St Helens, is it?
It's far out.
And if people want to donate, how can they do that?
At the moment, we have a Just Giving page, and you'll find it on Facebook at Bubbles for Beds, and all donations through there will be split to all the charities that we support, which include Albert Kennedy Trust, Homeless Manchester. We now today include On the Out, which is a prison service. We work with the Mustard Tree.
They're fabulous.
Fabulous artwork there. And we just want to bring it into community because also we've just gone through a bit of a nasty time, haven't we?
Absolutely.
And no one's going nowhere, let's be truthful. There's no great holidays we're going on for the next couple of years.
No.
So why not bring events and some art and some fun?
Yeah, why not do something good?
Yeah.
We have another event called Buskers for Beds coming up in August, which we're running over the August bank holiday, deliberately running the same time as Pride because it's the busiest time for the city, to highlight buskers and local art within the city, but supporting themselves and each other.
I love that.
See, so
I love that. I do quite a few creative festivals, and I'm doing stuff with Barnaby in Macclesfield at the moment, sort of the Off Festival, which is Barnaby Bright, so I'm doing that. So I love community engaging stuff, so this is music to my ears.
So we're going to hook up, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
What kind of show is this?
This is a family show. And
Hook it up,
this is the right sort of hookups.
Yeah,
This
fantastic.
is what we encourage. If you want to get creative, if you want to share, just drop us a line. We're up for it.
Drop us lines, get donations straight on that Facebook page.
The donations and the fundraising is great. It's great, but don't take it wrong. We want as much money as people want to give us, but it's not the whole thing. It's community working together, supporting each other in whatever way we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Thank you very much, Frank. That's a lovely start, and thank you for bringing these amazing things.
Thank you for having me, like I said. Yes,
thank you.
Okay.
Next up, we've got a few
have you got
things.
something to say?
I do. I
Okay.
mean, I think you've got something more to say because someone's been nominated for an award, but so have we as a group. So next up we have our Diversity Award. That's right. Your Manchester has been put up for a Diversity Award for all of our work that we do and inclusivity that we bring onto the show, which I think is amazing personally.
Yeah, but also as well, the National Diversity Awards look at you as an organisation, and because the organisation, as in Your Manchester Media, is extremely diverse, that's one of the things that I've taken into account.
Oh, did you get something, love?
There was something else I wanted to mention. What was it?
I think you're being nominated for awards.
I am.
Oh, you have? That's right, for positive role model.
Yeah, in brackets, gender.
In brackets, positive, apparently.
So it's fantastic. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have two awards on the studio shelves.
Oh.
So please go to the National Diversity Awards.co.uk. Just Google National Diversity Awards. You go straight to the website and you can put Your Manchester Media in and put your votes in, why you like it, why you watch us.
Do it now.
Do it right now.
Literally on your phone, do it right now.
Or you can put Caroline Whitehead in and the culture queen of
The
Your
culture
Manchester.
queen.
That's what I'm saying,
Here,
Frank.
I thought she was the separate queen. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show. Have you had a good time?
I've had a fabulous time. I've had
great.
some fabulous guests in, and you know, some people have bought presents, which is fabulous.
And food.
And Mark, I love listening to Mark as well.
Thank you so much, everyone that coming on. We hope you enjoyed the show. We've been watching Your Manchester.